set, gold, nigga, if you Kanye. I don't really give a shit about what any of y'all say. Answer for forgiveness, I ain't giving y'all a break, my nigga. Wait, hey, 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 this is TyRaiD. Hey, ready, set, gold, nigga, if you Kanye. I don't really give a shit about what any of y'all say. Answer for forgiveness, I ain't giving y'all a break.
All right, welcome to the first Team Asunder Presents. We're here with RoQ'y TyRaiD, and what you just heard was his new hit.
Royale cheese. Royale cheese. Smart MF.
Yeah, I just fucked that all up. So RoQ'y, we met the first and currently only time, but in Fayetteville, Arkansas, right?
Definitely, and I gotta be back through too, man. It's one of the dopest shows I've had, like in terms of my career, and I'm not just saying that either. Like, it's dope to, because I've been on the road a couple times and stuff, but like in terms of this, like the demographic in this area per se, like I was completely unknown, and just given the opportunity to present myself as an artist, and by the time I was done, it was like I had so many like-minded people whom I was in contact with and who were aware of my music, and it just kind of spiraled from there. It just kind of snowballed from there. And, a lot of people keep in touch, and they're part of the rock riffs, as I like to call it. I don't like calling, fans, and I don't like that. It's real impersonal. So Fayetteville, Arkansas is definitely one of the dopest.
Yeah. That was actually my first time in Fayetteville, too. So, yeah. So
and Lucio too. Yeah.
So was it? I know a couple of the guys like Mega Ran, who you were on tour with at the time, were very surprised at the turnout, and even kind of who the fans or the demographic there was. What's your normal demographic like? Who comes to see RoQ'y TyRaiD?
It's really mixed, man, because I come from a very just different background, and it's like it kind of conveys through my music and stuff, and so I have various type of people from all walks of life who dig the music and who find themselves at my shows, and who end up supporting the music and whatnot. So it may be nerdcore, maybe street, it may be super backpack hip hop, maybe like the break dancer type of scene. It really depends. It depends on the type of show. It's sort of like myself as an artist. You kind of never know what you're gonna get, and I never know what I'm gonna get when I go to a show. So it really depends on the type of event, man.
So what do you consider yourselves genre wise? I know that's usually a hard thing for an artist to say about themselves, but
I think it may not be too bold of me to say, like, I would call myself a true purist hip hop. Not in terms of, if you don't know the name of Rakim's first album, you're not hip hop. I mean, just in terms of hip hop is so diverse, and there's just so many ways you can come at hip hop from so many different angles and so many different subgenres within hip hop, which is a culture itself. So I think I represent various forms, like all the type of demographics I was naming before. I mean,
yeah, definitely. I even just listening through your stuff, you can see the nerdcore aspects in there, and then I even get elements of like conscious hip hop all throughout.
Yes, definitely.
So
definitely. I forgot. I guess because there's no real demo for that, but every now and then you may get some music with political themes behind it. Like I did a project called The Podium, and a lot of rappers, they wanted to do the whole weekly, drop a song every Thursday and all that bull, and I decided to come at it from a different angle. And what I did was I took the current events that was happening from a 6 or 7 month period of time, and I turned it into song format. So around the time of, say, November to 2010 to like July of 2011, everything from the Japan earthquake situation to when they tried to shut down the Congress in May of 2011, and various things of that nature was talked about through music. So you can actually watch the buildup of the conflict out in Africa and how it started with us not really trying to intervene, just trying to intervene, to people saying we had ulterior motives and all that type of stuff we can talk about on a different day. But, I have a lot of politically themed music as well as, just straight lyricism or some like quirky music or introspective music. So, yeah, man.
So we have a fan question. he asked, I don't know if you think of yourself as a political rapper, but I think it's fair to say that you're interested in social and political issues. And I think it's fair. Addressing those issues has been a pretty important part of hip-hop going back to at least Chuck D. Who have you taken inspiration from, and what do you think is the state of socially conscious hip-hop in 2012?
The state of socially conscious hip-hop in 2012. I think there's a research of it. I think it's coming back, and it's not just in the corny, it's all donate our plastic bottles to the grocery store sort of way, but more authentic. And yes, to be compared to stuff like that, to even have things like Chuck D and that in the same sentence is beyond an honor. One of my first memories was Fight the Power on, seeing it on TV is like 2.5 years old. So I appreciate someone to even bring that up in a question to me. Is where I would find my inspiration from would be acts such as that. And as I was saying earlier, I was, I guess by fate, born on the same day as Malcolm X or whatnot. It's one of the people that my parents had informed me about and taught me about, in a sense, kind of enough for me to want to do my own research as an adult. And that's one of the many people who I admire, people such as Dick Gregory himself, who have turned something that they're good at. Malcolm X would have been the gifted gab, I guess, in a sense. Dick Gregory as well, turning something that they have natural skill with and into something that is not only entertaining in a sense, especially with Dick Gregory, but something that benefits people at the same time. So those are some of the people whom I look forward to as sort of like a guiding star, if you will. Yeah. And even though I have songs such as, your Woosahs and your Put It On Wax, and, for what it's worth, it's combative and people may view it in a certain light. I try to make sure that I speak my mind 100%. So you hear songs like Her Born Identity, which was about an old friend of mine who was dealing with cultural identity issues because of really how she was raised and not where she was raised, in a sense, and kind of how it impacted her life. And I kind of use that as a story because we all have certain people we know who really don't have knowledge of self, in a sense, and not in sort of like the formal way, but in terms of who they are, in terms of where they come from and how they apply it to their lives. Also songs or things like The Podium, where, for 6 months I talked about various things within the political realm or world news, turned it into song format, as opposed to just making like regular cliche weekly Thursday drops and putting them out. I just wanted to do something that not only entertained myself, but it helped other people out, because we don't find importance in what goes on nowadays. Mm-hmm. There is no pertinence in news. People don't watch the news because it depresses them. They don't want to hear about what's going on in Afghanistan or why Obamacare is so. How that's shaping the whole Medicare field and how that would impact us later on down the road, or whether they're with it or against it, or the pros and cons behind things like that, or even as much as like the whole presidential campaign is going on right now. I mean, people just seem to jump on the bandwagon because it's entertaining, and they don't really. There's no purpose behind it. I think I'm going off on a tangent, but I don't know, man. Like I find my inspiration comes from so many sources in terms of that. I think I was just naming one of the many sources that inspires me to talk about things like that.
Yeah. No, that was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, and I don't think like you have to talk about something as deep as you do just about a job experience. Mm-hmm. Even though I Quit is a little abrasive, the point of that song is, finding worth in yourself in the job field. You don't have to be bullied around by your management because, the unemployment levels are horrifically low. Invest into yourself and however you have to do, whether it's applying, seeking more knowledge or looking in a different career field. Mm-hmm. You can do it. You don't have to be content with life. And that's pretty much what I Quit was about. It wasn't me spazzing and quoting Half Baked. So,
although it does come across that way on stage.
well, yeah, but it is kind of a guilty pleasure song. Yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, who is RoQ'y TyRaiD? Where do you come from?
RoQ'y TyRaiD, man. Well, the actual name means rock and tirade. I have this whole thing about duality, if you will. I think it properly expresses me as a person in terms of, you may have moments where I'm quiet and I'm reserved, and you may have moments where I'm energetic and I talk too much, or cracking jokes, or just, the life of the situation. I think it's evenly split down the middle. In terms of me as a person, man, I've lived all throughout the West Coast, originally born and raised in San Diego, spent a lot of time in the LA area, finished my high schooling out there, moved out to Phoenix for a little bit, kind of found myself musically, also as a man, if you will. And so I really define myself as a true West Coast artist, not the cliche way that you would probably find on the Friendly Neighborhood blog. But, there's many things that about being Californian which I find in my personality. And I found a lot of respect for my new headquarters, Phoenix. So that's in terms of where I'm from. The type of music, everybody says it's about real life, but I really think my music is the embodiment of that, like reality rap, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Because you'll have, especially as my new album is coming out, I have a lot of introverted music in terms of personal experiences, relationship experiences, job experiences, being on the road, things like that. I may spaz out things like Royale with Cheese, but that's directed at people whom I didn't like at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm innocent.
So you
and I'm sticking with it.
So you're getting ready to drop Dichotomy of RoQ'y TyRaiD, correct?
Yes, the Dichotomy of RoQ'y TyRaiD, and that just further goes. That's about. I would say the first part of next year, man. But I have high hopes for this one, and just the fact that people gravitated towards Royale with Cheese like they did thus far, I think it's a sign of good things to come, man.
I can definitely say that the title is kind of a misnomer. Like when I heard the Royale with Cheese name, I was thinking something really just like a really corny joke, like a joke-like song, like,
what do you mean corny? No, I'm playing.
Well, come on, with the name, like,
I'm playing.
so I was really surprised to hear what it was.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'm glad people like it like they do, man. Shout out to my man Arza, a very talented producer from Phoenix. He actually won the iStandard conference out here, and he's going to be in New York around November.
Nice.
So doing the finale out there. There's DJ premieres that'll be up there. It's going to be pretty massive. I might have to make a trip myself. But yeah. Royale with Cheese is definitely getting a lot of attention, and it's kind of the antithesis of my last release, which was LAX to Germany, which is just smooth. It was kind of an ode to the underground music of hip-hop of the early or mid-'90s. And I think that's why it caught people off guard, because it was so serene and laid back and chill, and all of a sudden, just people teabagging bear traps and throwing grenades in houses and jumping out as it explodes. I always wanted to say that in the song, because
why didn't you?
I was waiting for the right time, man. And anytime you could reference the Mach 5 in a non-corny way, I think you've done yourself a pretty good job.
So I have a question. It might be a little bit hard. It might not be. So I listen to you. I listen to Mega Ran and stuff like that. But I'm kind of I bounce all across different genres. I find myself in rock and all that.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I find, probably even since Eminem a little bit, is that people, in essence, like especially with Childish Gambino, Eminem got away with it because he was, I guess, white. But for the middle class, who I find you speaking to, and even Childish Gambino, and a lot of even more kind of conscious hip hop, coming up. It's not all about the ghetto anymore, But in some ways, I find it interesting. I mean, I'm not from the middle class, but oftentimes, white people are at least associated with middle class and middle class problems,
Right.
even if we're
I
from.
know.
But who? And I hate to ask it like this, but who would you say your music's for?
I think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the expected response, but it truly is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with my more politically forward tracks. I guess if someone could find it, I was gonna reference the addendum song that I did for. It did come out on the Zeitgeist soundtrack. I think it did. Yeah, no. Another one came out on the Zeitgeist soundtrack. But I was like, it ain't about crackers, niggas, chinks, and spicks no more. The lines drawn in the sand. You either rich or poor. So I don't like to just stick with one class, one economic class or whatnot, or a race or any of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, we're all equal. No matter if you are a trust fund kid or you were part of a disenfranchised family.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop is hip hop, and it's universal, and it has been accepted as universal for at least the past generation or so.
Yeah.
I think once it found its way onto MTV and Viacom, where they did a lot of things to help hurt our generation and the culture in general, it did help out in the long run in terms of people from different backgrounds finding a different form. So given that I have the way that I was brought up, I was part of a multiracial family and cool areas and stuff like that. I don't like to just stick with one.
So I just got to ask real quick: Are you nervous to talk about that, or are you just trying not to veer into that conversation about where you come from and stuff like that?
Oh no, I come from San Diego, Chula Vista to be exact. I went to Canyon Country High School in Santa Clarita, California. So, I mean, all you got to do is follow my Facebook. You see high school people I went to middle school with, and that's why I don't like doing the whole Jacob Rayford, RoQ'y TyRaiD sort of thing, because I'm just going to talk about the same stuff I would whether or not I'm on stage or we're having a drink at the bar.
Yeah.
So, no, not at all.
Okay. No. I was curious because I didn't know because I mean you don't bring that you don't have that what's called that hard tough vibe across your music. You're not doing that posturing and stuff like that. But
no, I mean, but at the end of the day, people's backgrounds are what they are, and
right.
No matter what I would have done as a when I was younger, as a youth, if you will, I wouldn't condone any of that through music, because all that does is perpetuate self-destruction. So yeah, I've done stupid stuff. I come from a pretty cool area.
Yeah.
I've done stupid stuff, and I've hung around the wrong type of crowds, if you will. It doesn't define who I am as a man, which is probably why subconsciously I did kind of try to steer away from it, because the thing that hip-hop, it is an issue with me that people use where you're from to define who you are, and it works on both sides of the coin, where people from a middle class may think that people from a lower class are not on the same level as they are, maybe not financially, but in terms of who they are as people and what they can accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And people, certain people from a lower class may think that people from higher classes are bougie or Hollywood. So it's same side, different sides of the same coin, which is why I like to preach that everybody is the same. It's not some kumbaya BS, but it's true at the end of the day. We're all God's children, whatever.
All stuck in that same conflict.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's kind of what her born identity was at the end of the day, because it was about the sister I knew, and she grew up in a suburban environment, which I have, and a lot of other people. But I guess the way that she was raised, people were taught that if you don't behave a certain way, or if you don't speak a certain way, or if you don't, I guess, carry yourself in a certain way in general, then you're not who you are culturally, racially, which is bullshit at the end of the day. And that pretty much weighed on her conscience for years, and she was lost. you know, a mid-20-year-old woman who really has no identity for herself, or no sense of respect for herself, and depressed and things like that. And I know there's plenty of people like that. I've talked to plenty of people at shows who have heard me do that, and they kind of pull me to the side afterwards and expressed how they related. And you know, I know friends, family members, and it's a very similar story across the board.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think so. And I mean, you know, with personality, and I mean, it totally extends across even just you know, racial boundaries. Even if you're even talking about like passing or non-passing and things like that. So, I mean, I can see how far the actual core elements of the song actually reach. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's not just one. It's not like a black thing. You can apply it to various races, and it's kind of sad. You know how America's so homogenous. It's cool at this, but at the same time, it's, I don't know. I like seeing different. While saying I like people being unified and, you know, having a universal feeling, seeing that difference in the next man is what makes them unique and what makes everybody the same at the same time. Like, same differences, if you will.
Yeah. No, I feel you. So, we'll go on to a question from a fan, if you will.
Yes, sir.
If hip-hop magically disappeared from existence, would you dabble in any other genre?
Yes, other genres of music. I would probably try to find... It's kind of cheating, but I'm going to do it anyways. I would definitely follow my way into... you know, your Rage Against the Machines, or
nice.
Even though Prodigy, even though Prodigy is kind of, I guess, British techno type stuff, I would like to do stuff like that, because nothing made me want to grab a speaker and throw it through my grandmother's window like Fat of the Land by the Prodigy in 1997. And I did get in trouble over that CD a lot.
But it's actually funny you mentioned that. I had one of my friends. He's deep into music, produces his own music and everything. And I was having him listen to your stuff. Kind of, hey man, give me some of your thoughts. Give me some questions. And he said, I don't know, but I could really see people who are into punk music really loving this guy, especially based on like break shit. And I was like, I thought about it. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, just besides that, but even your delivery on it, and especially your aggressive tracks, definitely have that.
Cool, man.
So if the world comes crashing down, maybe you have a place in punk.
I would not mind that, because it's the same type of crowd anyways, man.
Yeah.
I've actually done a couple rock shows where I brought hip-hop to the table, and I think the first one I was a little apprehensive, because it's like, I don't want to go on stage. And you ever go to a show and somebody calls out the wrong city, and like it's either a mixture of booze or dead I'm at a wake silence?
Yeah.
I was afraid of stuff like that, and I almost didn't get on stage, I'm not gonna lie. But after I did that, I'm like, we have a common ground. And I thought about it. I'm born in 1986, man. I just turned 26. I am the quintessential MTV, BET, Viacom generation kid, whereas my musical palette is very diverse. And I can run home during the 5th grade and catch Biggie on TV, and the next video is Jamiroquai, and he's sliding across the damn room. You know? So, yeah, man, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like my older brother, like, hearing him play Nirvana is what made me like Nirvana, etc. You know, hung out with skater kids. We listened to alternative. We listened to Cake. You know what I'm saying? So I had Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, and I was bumping. What's a really good example? What's some left field?
I don't know. Hey, Crow, help him name drop. I know what he was listening to.
Hey, you know what I did hate? You know what I hated? And I don't care, because I don't ever plan on getting signed and by this company, whatever. I'm going to do it anyways. Care about your accomplishments. The Godzilla soundtrack.
Oh, my God.
With when Diddy tried to steal the Jimmy Page situation.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yeah, I wanted to leap out my apartment building. No, I'm not coming with you unless it's to hell, because I'm already there now. But
man, how badass was Jimmy Page on this? Like I remember when I was a kid, I was sitting there, it's like, man, I need a full white outfit. I need to look like that. that song made that Godzilla movie sound badass.
Yeah, dude, it was a terrible.
I'm glad somebody else remembers that elevator scene with the white suit and Jimmy Page just rocking out the. That makes me really happy.
It does, because someone else was my pain.
That's like therapy, bringing up old shit right there.
Yeah.
So the person who asked the dabble, he also asked, would you rather lose an arm or a leg, and why?
I think I would rather lose. Can I be specific? Can I like cheat and be like overly? Can I rather lose like my right arm?
Are you left-handed?
I could do without my right arm. Like whatever. It's pretty much useless.
Okay. All right.
I want to keep it.
Yeah. So
Hey, don't come for my arm. Yeah. I will hit you.
All right. Red pill or blue pill?
Beat you like the bus driver. You going to jail now? Sorry. Red pill or blue pill? Dang. I'll be completely honest. Honestly, obviously the red pill is always cool to be aware. But you ever like just reached a point where you kind of analyzed everything kind of like from a political standpoint and how people are just so close-minded, or they refuse to just accept the truth? You're like, damn, just brainwash me like Cypher in the Matrix and send me back.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think any intellectual person has that debate, and it happens to me sometimes. I'll just lay in bed and all I'm thinking is like, is it really necessary to know all this crap?
What am I gonna do? I think my man True Father had told me like years ago. We were talking about things of this nature, and he was like, to sum it up, it's almost verbatim. He said, "You have all that knowledge, but no cargo." And what he meant was, yeah, you know all of that stuff, but with what work? Who else is gonna line up? I mean, think of it like this: you have people that won't even complain because they switched the new format on Facebook on your damn phone. They won't even talk stuff about that. Like, they'll complain, but people won't even protest that shit. I mean, nobody's going to get up at the end of the day, and I am trying to use reverse psychology, please. But I definitely red pill. There's no way that I would like to go back to being unaware, because I don't know, like, ever since I started falling into knowledge like that and just discovering things of that nature, I feel a little more alive. Like, I kind of understand and appreciate life a little bit more, and it makes me want to try harder, because there's certain people who've been trying hard for generations to keep you from living a certain way. So might as well take advantage of this sense of being aware and go out and do what you love doing, man. In my opinion, you only have one chance. You're not going to come back as a damn butterfly or a fox, so you might as well put all you have into what you do now.
Exactly. 100%.
So yeah, that's what I get from that at the end of the day. So if it turns out that all that was for no reason, at least I lived the life to how I wanted to.
Okay, so I guess to hark back to the political side, somebody asked, Romney or Obama?
The Hamburglar? I mean, like, all right, like, Romney, in my opinion, is like definitely the emperor of the Sith in the political realm. But in my opinion, Obama's no different. It is the whole lesser evil thing. But this brings me back. This brings me back to that fork in the road. Like, do I or do I not? Because a lot of those people use, yes, the whole lesser evil thing as an excuse to not do anything. Like, not at least try. That's all I'm saying. At least go out and say you had tried. Yes, you may have to, because you don't have to just vote for left or right. You don't have to be forced into the bipartisanship. Like, you can voice your own opinion. And I think it's people may also have the idea that it's a wasted vote.
Mm-hmm.
But if everybody has that idea, then you never get anything done. It's sort of like what I was just saying, a couple minutes ago about, people not doing anything at the end of the day and not having cargo and stuff like that. Like, all it takes is one person every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on the fence, man. Definitely not Romney though.
So, you're really stuck on the fence. So it's either vote for some random person or Obama. That's what you're saying. That's the fence right there.
I mean, but nobody's a saint in the political field. I mean, yeah, you go for your Ron Pauls or whatnot, but everybody has that stinky sock under their bed. So, somebody's always hiding something in the political realm. But it's just something you have to accept. You can't have total anarchy. I mean, these damn groups who think they're anarchists can, but that kind of defies the whole purpose of being an anarchist, you asshole. Why do you have friends? Whatever.
Speaking of having friends, are you planning on shooting a video for Royale with cheese?
No, because I have to have friends. I actually am planning on shooting a video for Royale with cheese, man. Especially after this week, I think it's only right that I do that, and I'm definitely gonna try and have as much fun as possible with that. Kind of have no choice but to.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of a pretty cool location. Last video I shot was in New York, and it was like 7 degrees outside. And when I say I literally did one verse, which is generally about 35-45 seconds, and I couldn't feel my face like the guy from Blow. I don't understand how you East Coasters do it. It's cold as hell. You're on a big island and it's surrounded by water, and you still live there.
I don't do it. I'm in Arkansas. It's room temperature outside. It feels good. Okay, so all right. How do you feel about the current state of hip hop in Arizona? Would you change anything? If so, what?
Wow. I would encourage people to have their own damn identity. And I'm not going to turn this, I'm not going to kind of air business out and stuff, but you know what? I am. Because maybe other scenes experience this issue as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because it's a new area, and it's like a melting pot, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened to LA, it happened to Houston, it happened to New York at one point in time, Miami, etc., where you have people that came in from different areas, and it kind of really didn't have the opportunity to have its own sort of cultural identity. Like, this is the Southwest. This is what we sound like. And it's not like it's a border town, like it's close to Texas or anything where you have a southern influence. There's a state and a half in between it, so that's not an excuse. You have rappers who would sound like 2 Chainz and the Future guy or whatever, and that's all cool. But there is not a lot of, you know what? Let me not talk about the negative stuff. There are plenty of dope artists out here that have minds of their own and music, something that defines themselves.
Yeah.
So let's talk about positive stuff. Let's see. Outside of Writers Guild, of course, your Mega Ran, your Pennywise, your Miranda, your Rock Knowledge, your RoQ'y TyRaiD, your DN3. I had to say everybody just in case I missed somebody. I got everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, I got everybody. I ain't doing that. I missed that before, and I felt really bad. But aside from them, you have cats like NA. You have cats like Fresco, Z-Dub. I went to I've judged at a really dope battle for. Matter of fact, I judged at this thing called Voice Box Battles, and it's on the same plane as Grind Time, and I saw excellent battles last night. Some ones that really stood out to me was a guy named Rum Nitty, excellent, ferocious. Hashes Clay, who has ridiculous personality, and damn, this guy's name's Mosferentu from Tucson, and he freestyles better than people spit writtens, and there's so much talent out here is what I mean to say at the end of the day. And I didn't mean to purposely miss anybody, but there's just a lot of dopeness, and I think it takes people not trying to be the one to put each other on. Mm-hmm. Not trying to be the one to bring in the industry. You kind of do it by doing your work. Like I said that last week. If you go out and you tour and you hit the press game and you make yourself known and you do interviews, you're going to naturally bring people to your area because they want to know, what does this area sound like? Industry wants to know, are there other people I can take and sign and blah, blah, blah. So just by working naturally outside your region, you're going to bring the attention, as opposed to, let's start a campaign and let's be the one to put Phoenix on the map, or let's be the one to put Southwest on the map, to put Albuquerque on the map, to put Tucson on the map. Like, cut that crap out. That's one of the reasons I appreciate scenes like Houston, because they were pretty much getting the same treatment that my area is getting right now. And they just created a microcosm, and they just started doing things on their own, and, you know, inadvertently brought the scene out to where they're at. So I guess, so yeah, it just takes work and removing of the ego. And Writers Guild has done several shows where we have brought various genres into the picture. Your top 40 sounding genre, your street sounding genre, your backpack sounding genre, your various sounds up into one big event, and it works every time. So yeah, man. So just cohesiveness, man.
So you've mentioned Writers Guild a few times. I've been invited to several Writers Guild events, but to be quite honest, I'm not sure what Writers Guild is. Could you please explain it to me and everybody watching?
The G to the U to the ILD. No, oh, yes, it's various sounds. Like we have an excellent producer and DJ DN3 out of Chester, Philadelphia. He's pretty much the backbone of the situation. You have Rock Knowledge, who's excellent spoken word. Needless to say, you have Mega Rand, who incorporates various themes and video game themes and just intelligent hip hop, and adds that cutting edge lyricism to it and makes it universally dope. You have Miranda with just the smooth flow situation, and it's just he's really bad. Like his style is really unique, man. Especially being born and raised out of Phoenix, which dispels the whole Phoenix has no soul rumor, which is BS. And he's a prime example of that. Excellent lyricist. You have Pennywise, who's out of the Bronx. He has the gully street, like, beat you with Kroger's shopping cart rap style. Take your money, your lunch money, and then realize you already had the money and keep it and go buy a Slurpee type rap. And you have me, who has various issues, as you can see, and somehow makes it work lyrically. Yeah. So, but when we come together, it's not like, just a random group track where everybody's going in with like 30 bars and just overly rapping.
Like back when Bonehead had the whole cast, and you just every song was 12 minutes because everybody had to say something.
Yeah, posse cuts. We don't do the posse cuts. We rearrange it in such a way that it's still dope. I think a prime example was we have this song called Armed, and it was produced by a Phoenician producer named Lifted, who is actually now signed to Good Music with a platinum belt, or a platinum plaque under his belt, so congratulations. And it just kind of shows that just because you have a bunch of MCs and potentially a bunch of egos, that you can't make excellent music. And we have another one that we're about to release and about to put out very shortly that's kind of proves that point. It's a real nice performance track too. It's produced by Jimmy Flight out of Detroit.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we have one final question, and then we'll let you have your final statements, if you will.
Yeah.
All right. So would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I almost want to know the name of the person who asked this.
I'll tell you if you want to know.
I'll ask later.
Okay.
One horse-sized duck or what?
It's one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. I think I was told this was asked to President Obama, and he answered. So if you can't do it and a politician can, there's something.
Well, I said like how Barack Obama does it. Well, see, you can fight one big-ass duck, or you can spread it out. And you can fight a duck Monday, Tuesday, or maybe Wednesday. That way you'll never stay bored, and you'll never be at home watching Judge Alex at 3 in the morning. So I'd like to say I'd fight the 100 duck-sized horses. Well, for me.
Okay.
Wife Michelle, and our dog. Barack Obama, a.k.a. 2 o'clock Barack. Knocking shelves and hitting shelves in 2012. Mitt Romney, I'll see your ass in hell.
Nice. So you got your start doing freestyle and battle rap, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, man, definitely. We were talking about my past and where I come from and things like that. We had the entire valley split, like how you have crosstown high school rivalries, like football, basketball rivalries. We literally had it split in between the East Valley, which is my boys, and our crosstown rivals, and we would crash each other's parties. We would show up to the people's games. We find out that they're at the sports complex and show up and battle them, try to take the girls and all that type of stupid stuff, and catch people on the bus and ciphers. So yeah, man, I came from that element, no matter how good or terrible it was at the time. But yeah, man, I guess that's why you hear a lot of that competitive nature in my music, because you're kind of thrown into the wolves. And it was right before 8 Mile had dropped, so you had straight purists, like people who were just really rapping to rap because they liked it. And then after the movie dropped, you had to deal with everybody and their aunts, nephews, fiance who had a one-night stand with the postman trying to rap. So you kind of earn your stripes battling the good and the whack. So yeah. I always have that competitive nature in my music because of that.
All right. So then, how about as an ending note, you do some freestyle for us?
Yes.
How about that?
I'm considered a beast. You're a primitive bitch. I pull the belt from your hip, configure release, and throw it on a limb that extends from a tree. Pull it where it pivots, it constricts as you lift with your feet. Within a couple minutes, your limp is ceased. Enter the coroner's team. Niggas wouldn't trade places if they was under Mortimer's wings. I'll martyr you, so retract your statements or recur my wrath and hatred. The equal half of the Last Dragon and Patrick Bateman. I'm the answer to whack rappers' glamorization. Raise the standards to backpack and acts of the A-list. My very presence demand a standard ovation. You're an imitation brand. Look up stratification. You're aspiring to box, uninspired as your art, and if I buy it, I would fly into a diabetic shock because you're sweet. You ain't a beast, nor is your team, okay? Only times you mess with a circle of animals was a see and say. I brought the balance back. Your spouse is on my phallic sack, bouncing up the puddle in the house like she was Alex Mack. You ever challenge the throne? I'll be the last thing to happen to you niggas since reality shows. Nothing changed, same hunger pains from my younger days. Still unafraid, told you snuff me before I come of age. One thing I did leave was drunken days. I was an alcoholic. I killed more Mickeys and Clubber Langs. To get a buzz, you need to dumb it down. It's June, you need a summer sound. Expect the record pools ever come around. It's only cool to mimic someone's style if you're the biggest stand. Or work at a casino as a tribute band, but I'ma stick to my job, whether explicit or raw, or for the children like McMillan McGraw. I flip bars like a raw dog, Dominic Dawes. A little movement is.
Okay. All right. So that was RoQ'y TyRaiD. This is Matthew Coulter from Team Asunder. We appreciate everybody for watching, and you take care.
Yeah, man. Yo. Make sure y'all go to RoQ'y TyRaiD.bandcamp.com. Same thing with Twitter. Same thing with Facebook. Hit me up. I'm a personal dude. I'm not an asshole, narcissistic rapper like you probably expect me to be. I'm actually a pretty cool guy. And I like applesauce.
Peace out.
Shows and spectacles, award tours and festivals. My O's be for decibels, rewards for professionals. We roll, she shows, your hoe is all the testicles. Show with no respect for you, we boning on the sectional. Folder in the pretzel in a stroke of someone.